Yo guys, what is going on? Nickname is just Yellow, and today this Norwegian hardcore PC gamer is gonna make a video about all the short range weapons, or weapons that should be classified short range. If you're thinking of stuff from a tactical perspective at least, I want to talk about all those guns, the ones that are the most prevalent, ways of using them, and I'm just gonna go through a lot of basic stuff. So out of the 3 videos I want to make of this style, this is gonna be the second most boring one. The next one, which is gonna be mid-range, is gonna be so interesting, because there's a lot of guns out there that do a lot of weird shit, so if you apply that right, that can do a lot of good stuff. But this video here is, you know, for mid-level minus, I guess you could say, even up to LEMs sometimes, because a lot of those players are newly up to those ranks, so they aren't, you know, as experienced. But also, a lot of, I'm not kidding, maybe like 6 vac waves has happened the last kind of month or so. It's absolutely amazing, by the way. But that aside, you know, a lot of people now suddenly rank up and they aren't that extensively experienced, so, you know, why not go through it? So let's start off with Nova right here. It's the one-shot wonder, the boomstick, as I like to call it. Maybe I should rename it that. A very common name, I would say. But this thing right here doesn't have that much range, and that is the annoying part with the Nova. Like, even if you can dink somebody, you know, I guess you could say maybe this close if you are lucky, that won't really happen too often, okay? So if you really want to buy the Nova, as you can see on the heavy tab, it's relatively inexpensive, have a lot of damage. If you get one shot on their body or head up close, they are pretty much ruined, which is a nice trait. And while it can even be some gun that you can use up close, you can fend off enemies, you can only buy it and nothing else, and you, if you are fast enough and if you aim well enough, even up close on the torso or head, in which, you know, you then have the advantage and you can beat them, it's still not a gun I would rely on too much. But if you play this gun up close, you are almost assured to be able to wreck the enemy. And that is kind of the theme of this very video. You know, playing stuff up close, aiming at head level or body level, depending on how close you think the enemy could be at. And then, you know, you just search and destroy as they might be around, you know. So let's move over to the Mag 7 right here. It has more range, not in the sense of how it has actually more range. It's more about how it has more armor penetration, which makes it a little bit more lethal against enemies that are actually armed. You know, making this gun here not only more expensive by logic, but a lot more valuable in terms of what it can do compared to the boomstick, the Nova, okay? So, knowing this, yeah, it's a decent gun, and if you are lucky enough to be able to get 1 kill on your pistol round, this is a gun that I will here and there use and buy to try and get a cheeky kill if I'm playing a position in which I get to play up close at and fend off while being up close, you know? If I am the first guy to take a peek, then when he's moving out, he's going to be at a disadvantage, because he then needs to actually consciously, you know, look at me, stop, and that is when I shoot you. So yeah, another thing with the shotguns is that the kill reward is pretty significant. So yeah, it's something to go for. I would never go for the XM1014 though, because it's so weak, so you're probably almost never gonna be able to kill someone unless you are 100% sure that they are on a eco, if not a double eco. And yeah, keep in mind that can happen, but then you need to know the enemy's money game pretty well, so it rarely happens, but if it does, this gun here will just shred them up. But if they have armor, even body armor, it's probably very much a waste to use. Mainly because of its terrible range. So let's move over to the pistols, because there aren't too many more short range guns to cover. So yeah, the pistols right here, let's start off with the defaults of CT. I don't really want to cover them too much, because if you play them slowly, you can be super accurate, while if you spam them, you can be very inaccurate. So it, or yeah, I guess you could say it covers medium range, but that's the thing. So the default pistols for CT, that is the trait they have. That's why I won't really cover them. I'll cover them in the next video in this sense. But yeah, they aren't bad pistols at all, really, especially if you're on the pistol round. I would go with the default pistols almost any day, unless I got some kind of quirky idea, or if I didn't recognize its accuracy. Almost said that wrong. So yeah, the guns that are I'll categorize short range will be the 5.7, the CC, the Tech 9, and the P250. I don't have the 2 other ones equipped or on this CT side, so whatever. But the 5.7 right here, it has a lot of armor penetration, making it the gun that, or the pistol, that has the longest range compared to, or not compared to, on equal footing with the Tech 9, while still being short range. This is why I like the gun. It allows you to put up a decent fight against enemies. If you either spam it pretty accurately, or if you tap it, you can be able to do some serious, severe damage against the enemy teams. People have been able to ace with this thing right here, but it still requires a lot of skill and trigger discipline if you want to be accurate. So yeah, a gun that is to be reckoned with if you are up close, to say the least. Let's take a quick look at the stats. There's not too much more to see here. You know, 32 damage, accurate range is set to 19 meters, a lot less than the default pistol, and equal footing with the P250. So that gives you a nice figure of, you know, thought of, you know, idea of how this little bastard works out right here, okay, the P250. So just looking at the stats, you know, it's very similar, but the biggest similarity, or indifference, is that a better word to use? I don't know, I'm Norwegian, fuck it. But you can see the damage is higher, but the armor penetration is quite different. This actually makes it so that the range is very much different on this gun right here, because, you know, damage drops off by the further the bullets have to, or pellets have to travel, which means that then, you know, the damage is not going to be that strong. And because the P250 starts lower, it goes even lower quicker, which then again means that even if you're accurate with it, you won't be able to do as good of a job with this gun right here compared to the 5.7, even if the damage is that much different. Also, mainly, or not mainly, but especially depending on if enemies have armor or not. You know, if you look at this right here, it has a lot less armor penetration. Even if it got more damage, it falls off quicker. But then suddenly, if the enemy have armor, it's absolutely worthless. So it's kind of interesting to see how the factors actually blend in and become different when you are going into the game, practically speaking, okay? So there aren't too many more short-range weapons to cover. The rest of them that might be, you know, categorized could be the Bison, because it's so inaccurate. The 2 LMGs, but they are worthless to use and a waste. And other than that, there aren't that many other ones, you know. I'd probably cover the equivalent or similar guns to them. I guess I could put out a word on the CC. Unless you tap it, it's probably gonna be a waste, or unless you're super close. But again, that is because of how its damage is pretty low. So hopefully people enjoyed this little video. Hopefully you learned something. If you did, you should probably subscribe, because I got a lot more high-level technical kind of videos about this kind of stuff coming up. Other than, you know, a lot of the basic stuff, but also I got some more even higher end level kind of videos for people who are super skill at the game coming up as well. So thanks for watching. If you want to support the YouTube channel, we got the Patreon stuff. You can, you know, find stuff in the description to do if you want to support this channel. So yeah, anyways, thanks for watching, have a nice day, and don't get beastified when you play.